Bugs, glitches, and exploits. Overwatch is no stranger to all of these. Basically, since the game has launched, it's been riddled with, well, I guess what we'd call various issues that can interrupt the normal gameplay experience. And while a lot of times some of these can be fun and funny, other times they can seriously ruin matches and even break the game. In today's video, we'll be taking a look at 5 of the worst bugs, glitches, and exploits, many of which are still in Overwatch to this very day. But before we jump into the video, I want to give a special shout out and thank you to today's sponsor, GamerLink. GamerLink's an easy to use app that lets you find other people to play games with. It's got an app-wide messenger letting you find friends with specific goals, whether you want to play in the arcade, quick play, or get serious and competitive. There's also clans to easily group up with people you enjoy playing with. In fact, I've got my own clan. You can find it by searching for Force. If you do decide to check out the app, it is available for free on mobile devices. Just be sure to tell them that Force sent ya. And with that, let's jump into today's video. Kicking things off, we have got the out-of-map exploits. Now, these have been in the game since launch, although the specific ones change over time as Blizzard finds, patches, and fixes them. The concept is simple. There are spots within the geometry of the game world that players can use certain heroes' abilities to get through and then get themselves outside of the typical parameter, the typical play zone of that particular map. Now, some of these are fairly innocuous, like this one found very recently on Volskaya. Yeah, you can get out of the map, but while you're there, you're so far away from the action, it doesn't make much of a difference. Others have been ruining real matches, including the one fairly recently found on Lijiang Tower, and one of the more popular ones recently on Anubis Point B, where people can get into this center pillar, contest the second point, and in many cases even attack, deal damage, and kill other heroes outside of this glitched position. It's a real problem that has been ruining real competitive matches, and quick play, whatever, it really doesn't matter, it's been ruining games. Now again, as I mentioned, out-of-map exploits have been in this game since launch. Blizzard typically finds where that hole in the geometry was, what heroes' abilities let them get through it, and then finds a way to cover it up, essentially, throwing spackle on the damn thing. This is something that I don't ever expect to go away, especially as more players look for these things, we get new maps and we get new heroes with new abilities to try to exploit the geometry of the maps, but it's something that hopefully Blizzard keeps an eye on because it can seriously screw up matches. Next up, we've got the hole in a wall glitch. This is something that you see every so often and in many ways is similar to the out-of-map exploits, except it's something that people don't typically do on purpose, but that tends to happen to them. There will be holes in the geometry where other players could push you through in a match. Again, although it's similar to the out-of-map glitch, it's typically not found on purpose, as the person who ends up doing this glitch does so not purposefully because it actually is putting them in a bad spot, either making them fall through the world to their death or putting them stuck in a position where they can't get out of unless the enemy team kills them or they find a way to suicide. In some cases, even forcing them to quit the match and come back, which if it's a competitive game, that could be a serious issue. Moving on, we have the kicked for inactivity bug. Now this is a very recent one that's popped up since the latest Doomfist patch. Players have been getting kicked for inactivity while not being inactive, participating in the game, even getting kills. The warning message will all of a sudden randomly pop up and they'll get booted from the game. Now, as some of the prior bugs, this could be a real problem, especially in competitive matches. You getting booted from the game might cause your team to lose the match or cause you to lose points, getting leaver penalties. Now, the source of this problem appears to be tweaks that Blizzard recently did to the AFK timer in the practice range. Whatever adjustments they made it so that you would no longer time out while in practice range, for whatever reason, is bleeding into the games of real people, causing them to time out, even though they're not exhibiting behavior that would force a timeout. They're not standing still, they're not engaging in combat, they're just, for whatever reason, getting flagged for inactivity and then getting booted. I do believe Blizzard has addressed this and will be looking to fix it, although I'm not sure if they have a fix on the immediate horizon. The next bug is an interesting one, as it actually is console specific to Xbox players of Overwatch, and that is being banned for playing off-meta heroes. Now, this is something that Blizzard doesn't actively participate in, but due to the reporting system on the Xbox console, which is independent of games, no matter what game you play on Xbox, they've got this overarching reporting system which attaches to you a reputation. If enough players report someone on the Xbox, they move into to this avoid me queue, which is effectively a ban to matchmaking, as it makes matchmaking times incredibly long, and in some cases people aren't even really able to find games because the game has its own matchmaking where it tries to match you with people of similar rating and skill and team size and all of that, and then you add on top of that you being in that separate avoid me queue. It is once again giving players effective bans just because of how the Xbox report system functions. Now, this is a problem that Blizzard can address by telling Microsoft that they don't want to be a part of their avoidance system, of their reputation system, and hopefully Overwatch will be sooner or later getting an actual in-game reporting system that Blizzard controls directly on both the Xbox and PlayStation consoles. But as it stands right now, Xbox players have a serious issue with this. And then wrapping things up today for our 5 worst bugs, glitches, and exploits in Overwatch, we have got the 1-round victory. Yes, you heard me correctly. This is a bug that has popped up sporadically. I don't see a ton of evidence of it, but the videos that I have seen have me greatly concerned, with matches ending after a single round, instead of going into multi-round like it's typically supposed to do, with each side getting a chance to fight and win. One round happens, and the team that was the attacking team just instantly gets the win. Now, I found little explanation for this, and my understanding of this issue is admittedly very small, but I've seen enough footage of it to think that it is a real issue. Even if it happens 0.0000001% of the time, that's too many times, as it presents a completely unfair and, for one team, an unwinnable situation. And with that, my friends, we'll be wrapping up today's video. As always, I want to thank you all so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed taking a look at 5 of the worst bugs, glitches, and exploits in Overwatch. And of course, we hope Blizzard gets around to fixing these as soon as possible. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you have a good one, and until next time, I'll see you later.